Okay, so a lot of people have wanted to see my camps on Xbox, and I've been trying to figure out a way to do that. So, what I thought I would do is just record a video and throw it up on YouTube so people can see all the camps I have on Xbox. I appreciate that everybody's giving me kind feedback on the ones I have on PC, but I really have wanted you guys to be able to see the ones on Xbox. So I'm going to start with my oldest character, which is Bizarro, and I'm just going to go into a private world and we'll show off all my camps. Oh, can't seem to get, there we go. Alright, so while it's building the world, I can tell you I do have a lot of camps, so the video is probably going to be pretty long, so you might could do it in segments. And I'll try to divide it up into each character in each camp, but I can't guarantee that I will know how to divide the timestamps up on YouTube, but I'll do my best. So we're just waiting for the private world to build, and I'll start showing off my camps. Here we go. So Bizarro is my highest level character at 1744, as you can see. So we're going to load in. So the first camp is the original Mothman Church that I have. One of the things I've never really liked about this camp on PC, and for those of you who've seen my Mothman Church on, or excuse me, one of the things I don't like about it on Xbox is my spawn point. If you've seen my camp on PC, then you know I've built a new version of this. But basically, here's the front, and again, I don't like that I couldn't place the spawn point correctly so that people arrive here right in the front. But I used the Mistress of Mystery build set on this, the church set that's been released after I built this, and I don't really play on Xbox anymore, so that's why it's still with the Mistress of Mystery build set. So if you come in, you can see, and I tried to put the punch bowl there like it was holy water or something, and then just various decorations here in the entrance. And then if you come in, you've got the main church here. One of the things I wish I had on Xbox that I don't, or I had on PC that I have on Xbox, is those Mothman eyes lights. I wish I had those, but I do not. And then so you can see I've got some of my rare items displayed on this character, like the Robco tool bag. My vendors are over here, and normally I've got all my Tales from the West Virginia Hills 2 magazines up, but it must have glitched when I switched camps. So let me turn on my light so you can see a little better. So yeah, this was the first version of this camp. It wasn't easy back in the day to try to get these roofs like this, because the build menu wasn't the way it is now, where you can just free place things. So it was much tougher. Anyway, similar to the way it is on PC, I have this antique armoire door that you can go through, and you can come back here to where the priest of the church lives, and got the bedroom set up over here with Mothman plushie and the Mr. Fuzzy Mothman plushie. Got the Mothman cuckoo clock. So yeah, this is how it's set up, and then you can come back here. There's a bathroom, which I don't think I made a bathroom on PC because I don't own a lot of the bathroom things. And then if you come out here, this is the separate entrance. If you were to come out the back using the haunted house kit, and then my workshop is back here with all the stuff I need to craft and so on. So yeah, so that's the Mothman Church. Hopefully I didn't go through it too fast, but this was a lot of fun to build, and was even featured in a video from a streamer who was doing Mothman theme camps. And yeah, I just really enjoy the way this one came out. Not as tall as the one on PC. Alright, so let me switch to the next camp. So the next camp is my Slocum's Joe diner camp. And we'll just go here to the Slocum's Joe diner. Alright, so here we are. One of the advantages I always had on Xbox is having played so long, I owned a lot of stuff. And I'm really happy with the curb appeal of this one, getting the various cars in the lot, and just the way the diner itself looks from the outside. I would like to eventually rebuild this on PC, but right now I just don't own enough of the Slocum's Joe stuff to be able to do that. So this is the outside. Again, I really like the way it looks from the curb. I got out the parking meters and all the neon signs that I think would be typical with a diner. And then if we come inside, I've got Yasmin Chowdhury as the ally, and I put her in something that looked like it matched what you would see at Slocum's Joe. Got all the seating and everything, although I do wish they would come out with booths like this that match the Slocum's Joe theme rather than a Red Rocket theme. I'm also happy with the way the counter came out. I will jump back there in a second so you can see everything a little more clearly. And normally these pie cases are filled up, but when I go to one of the other camps, you'll understand why they kind of get messed up sometimes. But yeah, a lot of stuff on the back counter. One of the things I like is on Xbox you can trade for a lot of the miscellaneous items to use as decorations. So these are all the ones from the quest for the responders, the daily for the responders, where you get the pepper and salt and items to make the stew. And they make good decoration. And then just come back here, got the spices, different things that look like bottles and cans that have been opened, and all the Nuka-Cola flavors. And then I glitched the Nuka-Cola cooler into the counter, so it looks like there's various coolers to get stuff. My pet gave me an item. Alright, so then if we come over here, we got the Nuka-Cola jukebox, which I think looks good in here, especially with the red and white checkered floor. We got the Nuka-Cola candy machine. So most anything that's Slocum's Joe related, I do have on here. I do particularly like the way I did the ceiling in here, with sort of the higher ceiling and the lower ceiling when you come in. That way there's more space above the counter and less space above the tables and stuff. Then back here is the bathroom, where a tree has always been glitching through the wall, which annoys me to no end. And then my workshop, if you come back here, you can see the workshop back here. Each character has one camp where I have all the resource generators. So this is that camp for this character. So yeah, so this is the Slocum's Joe Diner. Happy with the way that came out. And let's see, we'll go to the next one. Alright, I'm gonna skip the In Memoriam one because I had a couple of cats pass away a couple of years ago, and I put that together for them. It's not real built out, it was just something I did to honor them for a few days. So instead, I'm going to do the Aquarium camp. Alright, I never could get the spawn point perfect for the aquarium camp, and this is a spot where enemies spawn when people load in, so I always have to deal with that. But the way this camp came about, it was sort of a joke between a friend and I was talking about all the aquarium stuff you can get from doing the expeditions, and I said this was before fishing had come out, and I thought, this is kind of weird. We have all this aquarium stuff, but we have no fish. And my friend said, well, there is one goldfish. And that's when the idea hit me for this camp. So if we go inside, we can see here's the entrance to the aquarium. I tried to get the various fish related theme stuff here, and if you notice, I made every sign say condemned so that all the exhibits are condemned. So the way this works is I put the turnstile here to specifically block people from being able to go into that side, because the whole point in this camp is that it's a big joke leading to one particular thing. So you can see all the years where there would have been fish in here. At least I tried to make it look like there would have been fish in there. And then if you come around here, you can see the signs that I put up. More places that it would have been aquariums for fish. And then this connects to the other aquarium, but I wanted to just look like there's lots of spots where there are aquariums. So you can see my various signs here, prepare to be amazed. And then you come around here, this was the main hall with the whale, the restaurant that's been closed down, and then here's the main exhibit. And you gotta brace yourself. Are you ready for this? This is a lot to handle. Here's the main attraction, one goldfish. So the entire aquarium is built around one goldfish. And when I used to play on Xbox, I would get messages from people saying how funny they thought it was, and I think it's funny to have an entire aquarium built around one goldfish. And that was kind of the idea that came out of my discussion with my friend. So all these halls and everything, and going all the way around just to see one goldfish. I think it's funny. Maybe you don't, but I think it's funny. Anyway, so that's my aquarium camp. It was a lot of fun to build, and we'll go to the next one. All right. So next one is my fishing camp, but unlike my other characters, my fishing camp. Oh no, that's my actual fishing camp. Sorry. So each character has their own fishing camp that I can move around easily when the monthly challenges come around. So instead we'll do the... Oh, now we have to wait. Isn't that lovely? Alright, so we'll just stand here for a second. Alright, so let's try again. There we go. Alright. So this camp, right by Morgantown. And if you've seen my church camp on PC, this is the same location where my church camp is built. But with the bowling stuff that they put out for several seasons, I wanted to build a bowling camp, a bowling alley. One of the things I'm particularly proud of with this camp is the "Let 'em roll" sign that I glitched into the wall, so that it does not show the dice. That way it looks like it's associated with bowling as opposed to gambling. So if you come in, you've got the counter where you can get your shoes. I tried to make all the spots where you'd get the shoes from, but there are no shoes apparently because it's post-war. Then you've got, man, this is a buzzing camp here. You got all the tables and everything for the snack bar. One thing I really like with the snack bar is the snack bar sign glitch through the wall. And if you want to see what I mean, if we come out here, you can see this is the snack bar sign that's normally an outdoor sign, but I wanted to use it as an indoor sign, so I glitched it through the wall, and I think that comes out really well. And got some various Nuka-Cola stuff there, just with the snack bar. The other thing I tried to do with the bowling ball racks, I tried to do it in a way so it looked like the balls were placed in various spots rather than just filling up the whole thing. Then you've got all the alleys, and I think this came out really well. I tried to make little seating areas for each pair of lanes, and I used this thing as a lane cleaner. So then you've got all the lanes, you got the TVs for the lanes, and I made it where that one is showing a strike on the TV.
Radio network said you were on your way back.
So yeah, I think that I personally think it came out pretty well. I liked the lowered ceiling over the bowling lanes, which is usually what you see in an actual bowling alley. And then again, I tried to make the racks look different. And then over here is the bar. It's kind of constrained by budget. I wanted to have more alcohol on the shelves and stuff, but unfortunately my budget was limited with everything else I had put in. And if you come here, this is just a utility closet that like the custodian would have used or something. And then if you come back here, squeeze through, you would see there's my workshop back here. I didn't really put any resources. That's why that other camp has all the resources. And then I kind of had to make this hallway a little funky because of the way some of the trees were here. And unfortunately I can't get rid of this pile of stuff that's glitching through the floor. But yeah, so that's the bowling alley camp. Again, one I think is fun. I would get some messages about saying that they like my camp, which is always nice. And let's see if this character has any more camps. Nope, that's... Oh, I missed one. There is one more, Ollie's Bait and Tackle. So if you don't know, Ollie is my cat. And I tried to make one camp dedicated to each cat. And this is my bait and tackle shop dedicated to my cat, Ollie. This is another one I would love to rebuild on PC one day. Wish it wasn't so foggy so you could see a little better. But so this one's over in the mire, and this spot was suggested to me by someone on Reddit, and I really like this spot because you'll be able to see there's water in the back. But I just wanted to make it look like a real bait and tackle place that you would see, and make it look like it belongs here in the area. So got the worm farm here, which would make sense because you need worms to fish. There's my bait thing, ice for putting in your cooler. Yeah, just tried to go with a lot of fishing or nautical related things. Got the pirate door on it. And then if you come inside, you can see tried to make the shop just look like it has all the right stuff that you would need for fishing. So put fishing rods here on the fishing display, some coolers that might have bait in them, the various fishing signs, and I wish I had these fishing signs on PC, but I don't. Then I displayed the different baits so that people could, walk up and buy the bait. And just fishing lures, fishing bobbers. And then you've got the main market here where I put the scale, which is an item I wish I had on PC. You're going to hear me say that a lot, by the way, because there's a lot I wish I had from Xbox on PC. Then a sitting area where I felt like fishermen would come, tell tales, things like that, and a little gift shop with various nautical related items. And plus you got the fishing cooking station here. And then out back there is actually places to fish. There are actually places to fish. So put the Mirelurk steamer here as kind of a callback to Fallout 4, where that's on the dock in Far Harbor. And you've got the boat here. But just to show you, you can actually fish. Let's see, I usually fish here. Yeah. So you can actually fish here. That's what my character looks like. Yeah, and then if you come over here, this is where I displayed all 12 axolotls for this character. You got the chum bucket, some baskets of dead fish, the big doll fish, which I do wish I had on PC. Yes, that is another time I'm going to say that. And then if you come out here, I've got my workshop and some collectors, but not all. But yeah, I think this was a fun camp to build. I had built a previous version of this camp on Xbox, but just wasn't happy with it. So I decided to give it another go, and I felt like this one came out much, much better. And I was very happy with it. So I'll just do one more little quick walkthrough, a little slower than I did last time, so that you can see everything. But yeah, so that's this camp. Turn off my flashlight, or Pip-Boy light, and then you can see here's the front with all these bait and tackle. This one always has the light rain going just to help with fishing. Yeah, and I think that's all the camps on this character. Oh, I missed one. Okay, so there's one more, which is the Museum of Pie. Now, it's likely that my displays are going to be messed up because if you remember with the camp that I mentioned, with the Slocum's Joe one where I mentioned the pies being messed up there, the reason that happens is because there's so many pies displayed at this camp. When those two interact, it for some reason kicks some of the pies out of the display. So this was one of the first camps I ever built, and people thought it was really funny, and I would get messages about it, and I'll even tell a story here in a second, but I would get messages about it, and so this is one I always like showing off. Now again, the displays are probably going to be messed up, but normally what you would see is every single display is filled with perfectly preserved pies. And then if you notice, the various rooms have different names: pie exhibit, eat pie, bake pie, and make pie. So each of the rooms has different things. If you came here, I started getting more and more perfectly preserved pies, so I had to expand the number of displays that I had, and I just wanted this place to look like a museum. So there used to be, I think, over 300 perfectly preserved pies that I had collected for sale in the vendor for 40,000 caps each. But I had to take them out, and because they were taking up so much stash space. So then what I did in this room is I had all the different ingredients that you would use to make pie: spices, cooking oil, Dandy Boy apples, flour, and you've got cream and salt, sugar, vegetable shortening. And then you can come through here, and this is where you would have the various stuff to be able to make pie. I probably should have swapped this stuff to use the chessboard displays to actually put these items out on the counter so that it looked like somebody was cooking. Look, There's a broken fruit bowl. There we go. Alright, so yeah, I just wanted to make it look like a kitchen area where you would cook pie. And then my little workshop back here. And if you come back out here, one of my favorite things about this is that here is the inventor of pie. Yep, there he is. This is the guy that invented it. And so he's the one that, if it weren't for him, this museum wouldn't exist. Then we have the gift shop. One of the things I like that I did with my gift shop is, you notice it's locked. That way if I needed to shut my vendors down, I could do that without having to switch my camp. Then if you come in here, there's a little diner where you can eat pie. And this is where you could buy the pie out of the vendor. So yeah, as it turned out, somebody had come along and taken a bunch of pictures of this camp. And when they took pictures, I guess they posted it on Reddit, and it got like, I don't know, hundreds of upvotes for my camp. And I had no idea this had happened. And a few years later, I had this camp up, and somebody sent me an invite to talk and was basically saying, hey, I saw your camp years ago. I took pictures. And then they sent me the link to the old Reddit post, and I was just sort of flabbergasted that my camp had gotten so much attention, and I wasn't even aware of it. But yeah, so that's all the camps on this character. I hope you enjoyed seeing them, and I'm going to I'll do different videos for different characters, so this will be the end of this video. If you look at my channel, you should be able to find the other videos for other characters, and that way you can see every camp. But this is the one for Bizarro, and until I do the next one, I'll see you next time.